Louisiana beer reviews, Milwaukee's best light revisited. Okay, this is a special edition, of course, a revisit. This beer is 4.1% alcohol. It's 98 calories. It's a Miller brand, of course. It was introduced in 1986. Miller has the Miller Lite, and I'm going to pour it in the Miller Lite glass, their original light beer. They have this. They used to make Meisterbrow Light. That's gone since 2005. And they have Miller High Life Light. Southpaw Light is gone also, and Ice House Light didn't last very long. Okay, and they used to make a Miller Lite Ice, and that didn't last particularly long. This beer won a silver medal at the 2006 Great American Beer Festival. But Beer Advocate wasn't at that festival judging because they give it a poor overall score. The Bros give it a poor. On Rate Beer, they get a non-applicable overall. It means it's so low it can't even score a 1 out of 100. And it gets a 1 out of 100 on for the style. Now, seems ridiculously low, being such a pretty, it's a very popular beer. It has gone down in popularity because Miller, about 5 years ago, abandoned their they just stopped doing any kind of promotions for the beer. Now, if they start advertising again, it might get popular again, because they were, if you remember, in the early 2000s, they were doing a lot of heavy promotion for Miller, Milwaukee's Best Light. Let's check it out. Now, I bought this at Walmart, a 6-pack of these pints, $3.50 for the 6-pack. All right, it's a wide brim glass, so, but you would get a thicker if it was a narrow or brim glass, but a pretty thick white head, foamy head, and a clear yellow golden appearance. Little white sediment chunks floating about. You'll see that all the time in any beer, no matter how filtered, really, if you have that direct sunlight, no clouds in the sky. Let's check out the aroma. It's pungent, it's grainy, maybe picking up a little corn, barley malt, corn, breadiness. It's very stereotypical American style light lager, but not bad. Let's go with the flavor. Yeah, sweet, grainy, bready, very watery. Light, really a light cracker flavor. The hop bitterness is low, but it's not non-existent. There is a slight hop bitterness at the end of the sip. And it's a pretty smooth beer. It's not harsh in any way. There's not much lacing. There is a little lacing ring, though. As you would imagine, the mouthfeel is very light and watery. And the finish is dry, very dry. It's not quite Bud Light dry or Michelob Ultra dry, but it's pretty darn dry and crisp. It's refreshing here. It's around 75 degrees, around 4 in the afternoon, close to 4, not quite. And the drinkability is very good. I personally am not a big fan of the light beer style, but I'm not as opposed to light beer as I used to be. I used to be so fanatically against it, but I've warmed up to it over the years. But I can kind of get it, or I couldn't get it before. Why would people drink it? But um, for hot dogs and potato chips, or having it with pizza, or a meat, or any meal really at home. It's not the kind of beer you'd bring to a dinner party. Probably Milwaukee's Best Light. Although now you might bring Michelob Light to a dinner party, and that's a respectable beer, and you'll pay twice as much. But it's really not a better beer. This beer, Milwaukee's Best Light, it holds its own against all the other mass-produced light beers. It's not really better than them, but it's certainly not worse. And for $3.50 a six-pack, you can't go wrong. So as a beer overall, well, I guess it's a C plus. It's high average. It's nothing too terrific. It's certainly nothing bad about it by any means. I think they're just scoring it low because people that do beer reviews on Beer Advocate and rate beer are very prejudiced against really seem like any American beer if it's mass produced, but they don't like the style light beer. But as a light beer, it really does have some interesting flavor notes. They're subtle, and I think a lot of beer connoisseurs, if it's not a bull, if the flavor's not like a bull crashing through a wall or through a window, they don't appreciate it. They can't pick up any kind of subtleties in beers. But like most of Miller beers, it's so finely tuned, and their consistency level and quality standards are beyond belief. So you're not going to get a bad batch of Milwaukee's Best, okay? Yeah. For a light beer, it's an A. It's most excellent in the style. So I guess that would average a C overall and A for it, it's good. It's probably a B. It's if you want to cut it down the middle, but I'm glad I revisited it. I got 5 left to drink, so Laissez les bon temps roulés. This is a pretty impressive beer for what you're getting, and I'm going to end this review by saying y'all come on down to New Orleans.